Hi folks, welcome to The Modern Spiritualist. My name is Raheem. Welcome back to my channel. I am officially moved in and starting to settle in, so things are going to pick up speed a bit, and I'm going to aim for getting a video out weekly around the Wednesday, Thursday mark each week, so be on the lookout for that because things are going to start to pick up. So today is going to be the first part of a series about rewiring beliefs in order to basically be able to get you into a position where you can manifest the things that you're trying to manifest. This week is going to focus on feelings of worthiness, feeling deserving of your manifestations, and I think that's a good place to start because it's what I see go the most sideways, I think, in terms of like my crowd and the people that I'm around and what I see in people. And this also comes out of, like a very American mindset. So, if you're from another country, bear with me because you may or may not, experience this on the same level. But because America and countries similar to America are very capitalist driven, and because we are literally witnessing the fall of capitalism right now, we're literally seeing how what we've created is no longer sustaining itself, right? And in spite of that, in spite of all of our issues that we have in this country, at least, I just can't speak for other countries because I don't know enough, but for this country at least, is this sort of dissatisfaction with what we're experiencing coming out of capitalism and coming out of the philosophical consciousness of this country, and the fact that we are so conditioned by that same system that we still enact those patterns, right? And so the reason why I wanted to start with feelings of worthiness is if you don't feel worthy or deserving of your manifestations, you are not going to manifest them, because no matter how much you're actively trying to, there is still that other aspect of you, unconscious or subconscious, that is telling you, no, you don't deserve this, so no, I'm going to take it away from you, right? So either we see things never come to fruition, things always get delayed or pushed back, we never get as much in as we intended to receive, or all these various aspects of ways that manifestations can go awry because of the voice in your head that's telling you that you shouldn't get those things, even though you have this other voice telling you that you should, or is trying to, right? And so there's this sort of tension that is created. And that is coming out of the fact that the literal consciousness of this country, if not the world, is based in this belief that if you don't do enough, that you are not enough, right? If you don't provide the value that, your boss, for instance, is looking for, which is a bottomless pit, by the way, because the boss archetypally is just this thing that continues to demand more and more of your time, right? We're not talking about leadership here, we're talking about power and abuses of power, which is what the system is, right? And so we come by this honestly, this feeling of unworthiness. And if you are marginalized in any way, whether you are on the LGBTQ spectrum, whether you are not white, whether, if you're a woman, all of these ways in which you are not the prototypical, straight white male body that everybody sees at the top of this ladder that capitalism has created, right? Then you're experiencing various cultural aspects of trauma, like basically subliminal trauma, because it's just seeped in the culture, right? We just experience it over and over time, and we feel it in our emotions and in our consciousness and in the sort of overt and covert behaviors of other people and the systems that we land ourselves in, that we find ourselves in, as children, especially entering the school system and everything, and then the work system later. And so all these things start to build, and the more marginalized you are, or the more personal trauma you have, the louder these voices get. And so you end up in this situation where you feel very undeserving and very unworthy, and you've also potentially learned not to see that you see yourself as unworthy or undeserving because it's so steeped into the conditioning, into the cultural conditioning, that you're not even aware on a full level how much that mechanism is operating within you, right? And so we have these undercurrents, these unconscious mechanisms that are saying, okay, take away all these things you're trying to receive, let's just take it away, let's just throw it out the window, let's give it to them, let's let's divert the attention from me because I'm unworthy, right? And so what do we do? Because this is a really good start. I mean, if your manifestations tend to go awry, or even worse, if you can't even get there, if you can't even get to the starting block where you can even begin to write or speak manifestations, or if you're so cut off from your own dreaming that you don't dream anymore, right? take a look at your feelings of worthiness, because you may just feel unworthy. And if that's the case, if this is sort of one of the undercurrents that is sort of pinning down your ability to manifest, then start here. And don't start with the things that you're trying to manifest. Start with you, right? So get a journal, whatever, and then start writing down, I'm so thankful that I feel worthy. I'm so thankful that I feel deserving. I'm so thankful that I believe that I'm a person of value. I'm so thankful that I have inherent value regardless of what I put out into the world, right? Because if you see yourself as inherently valueless, it sans the praise you get from others, or what you do for others, or what you do in general. Some people try to be the star. That's me. Like, I try to excel so that people don't hate me, right? Like, that's the novel that I have running generally. And like, if I don't excel, then everyone's gonna think I'm worthless, right? So whether it's what you give to people, if it's compromising your boundaries to get to feel like you're worthy, if it's just being the overachiever so that you feel like you're of inherent value, whatever it is, try to just kind of write down what comes up. Where are the aspects in your life where you get really derailed because of your own feelings of valuelessness or unworthiness, right? And then start to really get under that. The first step is always awareness, and so writing down is really important. Writing down when you become aware of a thought that goes through your mind that tells you you're unworthy, right? And what aspects of your life does it come up the most, or is it totally seeped into all of it? And are they thoughts, or because I'm such a good meditator and I've been meditating for years, a really sneaky thing that I experience with my own ego is that things don't actually form in thoughts anymore. I can be completely thoughtless, and I just have the emotion of unworthiness. So, just feel into that. Do you feel unworthy? Is there sensations in your body that come up that sort of, are basically fight-flight responses to the concept that you deserve to have what you want to have a happy, healthy life, right? And even beyond that, having a thriving, abundant life, not just having your needs taken care of, but your wants too, and maybe some surprises along the way, right? I mean, if you want to live fully, and you deserve it because you have inherent value, you're here, right? And it really isn't even about morality either. The thing is, it's really, like, manifestation doesn't work because it's moral or immoral. It's amoral, as it has nothing to do with morality, right? It's just cause and effect, and using the forces of nature, the laws of physics, to attract certain frequencies to you, right? And so there's a metaphysical basis for this, there's a scientific basis for this, there's a psychological basis for this, and entering the psychological in terms of what are my thoughts saying to me is a really good way to start to pin down the way that your ego operates. So start there, right? But the reason why my ego does not speak in words to me is because that does not work for my ego anymore. It had to find something else. But before you can get there, you got to address the thoughts, right? So start there. What thoughts of you being unworthy, undeserving, or valueless come up? What triggers hyperarousal, hypoarousal, or looping in the same thought pattern come up around you receiving things, you receiving abundance, you receiving goodness, right? What's in who in you is afraid of that? Who in you is afraid of that ultimately? Or who in you believes that you need to be deserving in order to receive what you want, right? Because that's a morality wiring that's really black and white. If I'm good, I should receive good things. If I'm bad, I should receive bad things, is a really childhood way to look at things, right? Punishment versus reward is a very childhood thing. Like, oh, if I do this, this behavior gets rewarded. Oh, if I do this, it doesn't, right? But you're an adult, right? We don't live in this black and white morality world. Part of our trauma is being raised to believe that that is what the world is when it's not, right? This whole heaven and hell concept, it's not good, right? So try to take a step back from all of that and just look at what's really there in you, what is coming up in you. Because if you're able to give less energy to those thoughts, then you can begin to imagine that things could be different, right? And so then the next step would be, as you start to become aware of the beliefs that come up around your worthiness, you can start to create affirmation statements around them, right? So if what comes up for you a lot is, I don't deserve this promotion, or I'm not going to get this promotion, I didn't work hard enough, right? Then you'd be turning those affirmations to, I'm so thankful that I received the promotion, I'm so thankful that I'm doing such a good job and my work is being noticed, I'm so thankful that even if I don't get this promotion, I'm still a person of value and do good work. Like, you know, there's so many things that you can start to reframe, and the more you get in the habit of reframing, the more real those things will become for you, because ultimately they are real, right? They're more real than the ways in which your culture and the way you were raised created limits and issues between you and your own relationship with yourself and your value, right? Because it's all bullshit, ultimately. You know, like, the rules are made up. Have you ever seen Whose Line Is It Anyway, that 90s, like, improv show? I kind of think about manifestation the same way, and, like, living here, in this reality. Like, you know, the rules are made up, the points don't matter, so relax, and give yourself the good stuff, you know? Get yourself into a frame of mind where you feel like you can receive the good stuff. And from there, your manifestations will start to take off. But start with you, start with the awareness piece, start with cultivating your own interior feeling of being deserving, and then expand outward and see what you can bring in from the external world from there, okay? So that's all I'm gonna say on that. I'm gonna make this a multiple part series. I'm gonna try not to make them too long. I'm just gonna try to hit some really commonplace like manifestation pitfalls, right? And then kind of explain the same sort of processes that we can use to get out of them and sort of frame the cultural context around them, etc. So I'm happy to be back. I'm glad to sort of continue with these videos and see how they grow and expand in the direction of manifestation. I will still continue to try to throw some readings in along the way so that we have a variety of content, and we'll just build from here. Okay, so thank you all for being here. Go forth, be worthy. I guess, you know, all you have to do is say it, right? And be it, and embody it, and it's, you know, it's like Nike, just do it, just go do it, you know, and you'll be fine. Okay, so thank y'all. I will see you next week, and if you like this video, please hit like, it helps out the channel. Subscribe if you want to see the next video, and I will see you guys next time.